Welcome back. Imagine holding a gemstone that once lived as a creature swimming in an ancient ocean more than 70 million years ago. A stone so colorful that it looks almost unreal. A treasure born from a living animal, hidden underground for millions of years, and later discovered by humans who could hardly believe their eyes. Its surface flashes with red, green, blue, gold, and violet all at the same time. Some people call it the most beautiful gemstone on Earth. Others believe it carries powerful energy and ancient secrets. But what makes this stone even more incredible is that it isn't simply a gemstone. It is a fossil, and its story is far more mysterious than most people realize. This is the incredible story of ammonite. Among all the gemstones found around the world, ammonite stands in a category of its own. Diamonds are formed deep within the earth. Rubies and sapphires grow under extreme pressure. Emeralds emerge from ancient geological processes. Ammonite follows none of those rules. It comes from the fossilized shells of extinct marine creatures known as ammonites. These strange animals lived during the age of dinosaurs and disappeared during the same catastrophic event that wiped out the dinosaurs millions of years ago. For countless centuries, their remains stayed hidden beneath layers of rock and sediment. Then something extraordinary happened. Nature transformed parts of those ancient shells into one of the rarest gemstones ever discovered. When light strikes ammonite, it explodes into brilliant colors. The effect is so dramatic that many people believe they are looking at a piece of rainbow trapped inside stone. But that was only the beginning. The story starts in what is now Western Canada. Millions of years ago, much of North America was covered by a vast inland sea. Strange marine creatures filled its waters. Among them were ammonites, relatives of modern squid and octopuses. These creatures drifted through ancient oceans in spiral shells, unaware that their remains would someday become treasures worth thousands of dollars. When the ammonites died, their shells sank to the seafloor. Over immense stretches of time, layer upon layer of sediment buried them deeper and deeper. Pressure increased. Minerals slowly replaced organic material. Nature began creating something extraordinary. Most ammonite fossils remained ordinary fossils. But in one very special region, rare geological conditions preserved the shell's colorful layers. The result was ammonite. For generations, indigenous peoples living in the area knew about these mysterious stones. They noticed their brilliant colors long before scientists studied them. Some communities referred to the stone as buffalo stone. According to traditional stories, it brought prosperity, protection, and good fortune. Few people know that these legends existed centuries before the gemstone entered the modern market. The local people treasured ammonite not because of its monetary value, but because of what it symbolized. And that's where the mystery deepened. For much of modern history, the wider world knew almost nothing about ammonite. Collectors focused on diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. Ancient fossil shells did not attract much attention. That changed during the 20th century. Researchers began examining these colorful fossils more closely. Gem experts were amazed. The colors were unlike anything they had seen before. The gemstone displayed a phenomenon called iridescence, where different wavelengths of light reflect from microscopic layers within the fossil shell. The effect creates moving flashes of color that seem almost alive. As interest grew, jewelers started incorporating ammonite into rings, pendants, and luxury pieces. Demand increased rapidly. People who saw it for the first time often assumed it had been artificially created. The colors appeared too intense to be natural, but they were entirely real. Soon museums, collectors, and gemstone experts recognized ammonite as one of the world's rarest organic gemstones. What happened next shocked everyone. The gemstone's reputation spread far beyond Canada. Luxury collectors sought the finest specimens. Designers incorporated it into high-end jewelry. Investors began paying attention. The value of exceptional pieces rose dramatically. Yet despite growing fame, ammonite remained incredibly rare. Unlike diamonds, which are mined in several countries, most gem-quality ammonite comes from a very small region of Alberta, Canada. This limited supply increased its desirability. The truth was even more surprising. Only a tiny percentage of ammonite fossils contain the vibrant quality necessary to become gemstone-grade ammonite. Even fewer display multiple bright colors, and the rarest specimens show nearly the entire spectrum of visible light. Those pieces can command extraordinary prices. Collectors often compete fiercely to acquire them. But value is only part of the story. Throughout the years, ammonite became surrounded by fascinating legends. Many people associated it with transformation and renewal because it originated from an ancient living creature. Others believed its rainbow colors represented balance and harmony. Practitioners of feng shui became especially interested in ammonite. Some considered it one of the most powerful stones for attracting positive energy and prosperity. Whether these beliefs are true remains a matter of personal opinion. Yet the popularity of these traditions helped increase the gemstone's mystique. People were drawn not only to its beauty but also to the stories surrounding it. And those stories continued to grow. Scientists, meanwhile, focused on understanding how such extraordinary colors formed. Their findings revealed something remarkable. The shell layers responsible for ammonite's colors are incredibly thin. They are measured in microscopic dimensions. As light strikes these layers, different wavelengths reflect back to the viewer. The exact thickness of the layers determines which colors become visible. This is why each ammonite specimen appears unique. No two are exactly alike. Some display fiery reds and oranges. Others glow with brilliant greens and blues. The rarest examples reveal nearly every color imaginable. It is like looking into a miniature galaxy trapped inside a fossil. Even more amazing is the fact that these colors survived for over 70 million years. Think about that for a moment. Entire mountain ranges have changed. Species have appeared and disappeared. Civilizations have risen and fallen. Yet these colors remained hidden underground, waiting for someone to discover them. That alone makes ammonite extraordinary. But the biggest secret was still hidden. Many people assume ammonite is simply a colorful fossil. In reality, it is one of the rarest gemstones officially recognized by the gemological world. Only a handful of organic gemstones hold this distinction. Most gemstones come from minerals. Ammonite comes from life itself. That difference makes it exceptionally unusual. Yet there is another astonishing fact. The ammonites that created ammonite vanished during the mass extinction event that ended the reign of the dinosaurs. The gemstone you see today is literally a preserved piece of a lost world. Every flash of color comes from an animal that lived before humans existed. Before mammoths. Before ice ages. Before modern continents took their present shape. When you hold a piece of ammonite, you are holding a fragment of Earth's distant past. A relic from an age almost impossible to imagine. And that realization changes everything. Suddenly, ammonite becomes more than jewelry, more than a collectible, more than an investment. It becomes a connection to deep time itself, a bridge between the ancient world and the modern one. This is why museums treasure it. This is why collectors search for it. And this is why people continue to be fascinated by it. The combination of beauty, rarity, science, history, and mystery is almost unmatched. Even today, new discoveries continue to surprise experts. Each exceptional specimen reveals another chapter in a story that began millions of years ago beneath an ancient sea. And perhaps that is the most remarkable part of all. Ammonite reminds us that some of Earth's greatest treasures are not created in a moment. They are created over unimaginable spans of time. What began as a simple sea creature eventually became one of the world's most breathtaking gemstones. A living animal became a fossil became a treasure, and a treasure became a legend. The next time you see the brilliant colors of ammonite, remember what lies beneath its surface. Not just beauty, not just rarity, but a message carried across 70 million years. A reminder that the greatest wonders on Earth are often hidden in the most unexpected places. And somewhere beneath the ground, waiting to be discovered, another piece of that ancient rainbow may still be sleeping in the darkness. Welcome back. What if a stone on Earth was not born on Earth at all? What if a mysterious green gem carried the scars of a cosmic disaster so powerful that it changed an entire region forever? For centuries, people have searched for treasures hidden beneath mountains, deserts, and oceans. But one of the strangest stones ever discovered came from an event so violent, so extraordinary, that many scientists still describe it as a gift from the stars. This name is moldavite, a gemstone unlike any other on Earth. A stone surrounded by mystery, legends, collectors, and stories that seem almost impossible to believe. And the deeper researchers looked into its past, the stranger the story became. Because moldavite is not just rare. It is the result of one of the most dramatic moments in our planet's history. And its biggest secret was hidden for millions of years. Moldavite is a beautiful green natural glass found mainly in parts of Central Europe, especially in what is now the Czech Republic. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary green gemstone. But look closer. The surface is rough and sculpted. Its shape appears almost alien. Its texture seems unlike anything produced by normal geological processes. Collectors instantly recognize it. Scientists study it. Spiritual communities celebrate it. And gem enthusiasts around the world compete to own even the smallest piece. But that was only the beginning. The story of moldavite starts long before humans walked the earth. Long before cities existed. Long before the first kingdoms rose and fell. To understand moldavite, we must travel back nearly 15 million years. At that time, Earth looked very different. Forests covered vast regions of Europe. Animals roamed landscapes untouched by civilization. Then something unimaginable happened. A massive meteorite, traveling at incredible speed through space, crashed into Earth. The impact occurred in what is now southern Germany. The collision unleashed energy beyond human imagination. Temperatures instantly rose to extreme levels. Rock melted. Debris exploded into the atmosphere. Shockwaves spread across the land. What happened next shocked everyone who later studied the evidence. The force of the impact launched molten material high into the sky. As these glowing droplets traveled through the air, they cooled rapidly. When they finally fell back to Earth hundreds of kilometers away, they formed a strange green glass. That glass became moldavite, a gemstone born from a collision between Earth and the cosmos. And that's where the mystery deepened. For centuries, people found unusual green stones scattered across fields and river valleys. Many had no idea where they came from. Some believed they were gifts from heaven. Others thought they were fragments of magical objects. Ancient people were fascinated by them. Archaeological discoveries revealed that humans had collected and treasured moldavite for thousands of years. Some of the earliest known artifacts made from moldavite date back to prehistoric times. These ancient objects suggest that people recognized its uniqueness long before science explained its origin. Few people know that moldavite may have been one of the earliest gemstones associated with the sky. Imagine holding a mysterious green stone and having no explanation for its existence. No modern science. No telescopes. No knowledge of meteor impacts. Only wonder. Only mystery. As centuries passed, stories surrounding moldavite grew. In local folklore, the stone was often connected to luck, protection, and transformation. Many believed it possessed special powers. Others considered it a sacred gift. Its unusual appearance only fueled these beliefs. Unlike polished gemstones, moldavite looked wild and untamed. Its surface seemed shaped by forces beyond human understanding. The truth was even more surprising. As science advanced, researchers began investigating the stone's composition. What they discovered changed everything. Moldavite was not a traditional gemstone. It was not an emerald. It was not jade. It was not volcanic glass. Instead, it belonged to a rare group of natural glasses known as tektites. These materials formed during major meteor impacts. But moldavite stood apart from nearly all others. Its vivid green color made it instantly recognizable. Its origin was tied directly to one specific impact event. And its beauty captured the imagination of people around the world. Scientists carefully analyzed samples. They studied their chemical makeup. They examined microscopic structures hidden within the glass. Again and again, the evidence pointed to the same conclusion. Moldavite was created during an ancient cosmic catastrophe, a disaster so powerful that pieces of Earth were blasted into the atmosphere and transformed forever. But the mysteries were far from over. As Moldavite became more famous, stories began spreading across different cultures. Some people claimed the stone carried unusual energy. Others reported profound emotional experiences while holding it. Certain collectors described feelings of transformation or personal awakening. These stories became so widespread that Moldavite earned a reputation unlike any other gemstone. Whether these experiences were psychological, spiritual, or something else entirely remains a subject of debate. Scientists focus on measurable evidence. Believers focus on personal experiences. And somewhere between those two worlds, Moldavite continues to inspire fascination. Its reputation only grew stronger in the modern era. Collectors started searching for larger specimens. Museums displayed exceptional examples. Gem enthusiasts studied their intricate shapes and textures. Demand increased year after year. But there was a problem. No new Moldavite was being created. Every piece in existence came from the same ancient impact event millions of years ago. The supply was permanently limited. And that changed everything. As interest exploded, prices began rising. Small pieces that once sold for modest amounts became highly sought after. Rare specimens with exceptional shapes commanded impressive prices. Larger pieces became especially valuable. Collectors competed for ownership. Investors noticed the growing demand. Auction houses featured remarkable examples. And suddenly, a stone formed 15 million years ago became one of the most talked about collectibles in the gem world. But the biggest secret was still hidden. Many people assume Moldavite simply fell from the sky as molten droplets. That explanation is true. But researchers uncovered something even more astonishing. The stone's journey was far more violent than most imagine. During the meteor impact, temperatures reached levels capable of instantly melting rock. Material was launched at incredible speeds. Some fragments traveled hundreds of kilometers before returning to Earth. Imagine mountains exploding. Imagine the sky filled with glowing debris. Imagine molten material flying through the atmosphere before freezing into glass. Every piece of Moldavite is a frozen record of that moment. A snapshot of chaos preserved for millions of years. When you hold Moldavite, you are touching evidence of one of the most powerful natural events ever experienced by our planet. That fact alone makes it extraordinary. But there is another shocking reality. Scientists believe that conditions required to create Moldavite are incredibly rare. Not every meteor impact produces a gemstone like this. The exact combination of impact energy, geological conditions, material composition, and atmospheric cooling had to occur perfectly. If any of those factors had been different, Moldavite might never have existed. The beautiful green stone cherished by collectors today could have been lost forever. And that's what makes it so remarkable. It is not merely rare because there is a limited supply. It is rare because the circumstances that created it were almost impossibly specific. Millions of years of history, a cosmic collision, extreme temperatures, explosive forces, perfect geological conditions, all combined to create a gemstone unlike any other. Today, Moldavite continues attracting attention from around the world. Collectors search for authentic specimens. Researchers continue studying its properties. Museums preserve exceptional examples. And new generations discover its incredible story. Yet despite everything we know, a sense of mystery still surrounds it. Perhaps it is the knowledge that it came from a catastrophe beyond human imagination. Perhaps it is the connection between Earth and the cosmos. Or perhaps it is the realization that some treasures cannot be recreated, no matter how advanced our technology becomes. Moldavite reminds us that the universe is capable of producing wonders far stranger than fiction. A meteor strikes Earth. Rock turns to liquid. The sky becomes a furnace. Glass forms in flight. Millions of years pass. And eventually, a human hand picks up a small green stone and wonders where it came from. That question led to one of the most fascinating stories in the history of gemstones. A story of destruction that created beauty. A story of chaos that produced something precious. A story written not by kings, empires, or civilizations, but by the universe itself. And perhaps that is the true magic of moldavite. Not the legends, not the myths, not even its value, but the fact that it connects us to an ancient moment when Earth and the cosmos collided. A moment frozen forever inside a piece of green glass. A silent witness to a disaster that became a treasure. And a reminder that some of the greatest wonders on Earth were born among the stars. Welcome back. Imagine walking across one of the hottest deserts on Earth and finding a piece of golden glass lying in the sand. Not a gemstone created deep underground. Not a crystal formed by volcanic fire. But a mysterious glass born from an event so powerful that even today, scientists still debate exactly what happened. For thousands of years, this strange material has fascinated explorers, kings, treasure hunters, and researchers. It has been worn by pharaohs, studied by experts, and collected by people willing to pay remarkable prices for a single piece. Yet one question remains. How did this beautiful golden glass appear in the middle of the Sahara Desert? The answer may be far more shocking than anyone expected. This is the incredible story of Libyan desert glass. Deep within the vast sands of North Africa lies one of the world's greatest geological mysteries. Scattered across a remote region near the border of modern-day Libya and Egypt are thousands of pieces of translucent yellow glass. At first glance, they look almost unreal. Some pieces glow like frozen sunlight. Others shine with a rich golden color that seems to capture the desert itself. For centuries, travelers passed through this region without fully understanding what they were seeing. The glass appeared to have no obvious source. There were no nearby volcanoes, no ancient furnaces, no signs of human creation, and that's where the mystery deepened. Libyan desert glass is not just rare. It is one of the strangest natural materials ever discovered on Earth. Some pieces are small enough to fit in a pocket. Others weigh several kilograms. The largest known examples are truly impressive, looking like chunks of solid gold frozen into transparent stone. But that was only the beginning. The modern story of Libyan desert glass began when explorers and geologists started studying the remote desert during the 20th century. As they traveled across the Great Sand Sea, they encountered countless fragments scattered over hundreds of square miles. The discovery raised immediate questions. How could so much glass exist in such an isolated place? Researchers collected samples and brought them back to laboratories. What they found only increased the mystery. The glass was incredibly pure. In fact, it contained some of the purest natural silica ever found on Earth. Creating glass of this quality requires enormous heat. Temperatures must rise far beyond what ordinary desert conditions could ever produce. Something extraordinary had happened here. Something powerful enough to melt vast amounts of sand. But what? The search for answers would lead scientists into one of geology's greatest puzzles. As news of the mysterious glass spread, interest grew far beyond the scientific community. Collectors became fascinated. Museums wanted specimens. And historians soon made an astonishing connection. Thousands of years ago, ancient Egyptians may have already known about this strange material. One of the most famous treasures from ancient Egypt belonged to the legendary pharaoh, Tutankhamun. Inside his magnificent burial treasures was a remarkable scarab-shaped ornament carved from yellow glass. When experts examined it, they made a surprising discovery. The material appeared to be Libyan desert glass. Think about that for a moment. More than 3,000 years ago, people traveled into the desert, found this mysterious glass, and transformed it into a royal treasure worthy of a king. Few people know that this connection helped make Libyan desert glass famous around the world. It was no longer just a geological curiosity. It had become part of human history. What happened next shocked everyone. Researchers began searching for clues hidden within the glass itself. Many believed a giant meteorite had struck the desert long ago. The impact could have generated enough heat to melt the sand and create the glass. The theory seemed reasonable, but there was a problem. No massive crater could be found. Scientists searched the region extensively, yet the expected impact site remained missing. This created a new mystery. If a meteorite caused the glass, where was the crater? For decades, this question puzzled researchers. Some proposed that a meteor exploded in the atmosphere before reaching the ground. Others suggested that erosion may have erased evidence of an ancient impact. The debate continued, and the mystery only grew deeper. As often happens with unexplained discoveries, legends began to emerge. Local stories spoke of strange events in the desert. Travelers described the glass as pieces of fallen stars. Others believed it carried special energy because it came from a force beyond ordinary human understanding. Collectors sometimes referred to it as desert gold. Its beautiful color and mysterious origin made it seem almost magical. Some even claimed that holding a piece connected them to an ancient cosmic event. Of course, legends are difficult to prove, but they reveal something important. People are naturally drawn to mysteries, and few stones inspire more questions than Libyan desert glass. The truth was even more surprising. Scientific studies revealed that the glass formed approximately 29 million years ago. That means it existed long before humans, long before ancient Egypt, long before many of the landscapes we know today. Imagine standing in a place where an unimaginable event occurred millions of years ago. An event so powerful that it transformed ordinary desert sand into beautiful golden glass. Researchers discovered tiny minerals trapped inside the material. These microscopic clues provided valuable information about the intense conditions under which the glass formed. The temperatures involved were astonishing. Far hotter than normal natural processes. Far hotter than desert sunlight. Only a tremendous release of energy could explain the transformation. But the exact source remained uncertain. And that's where the mystery deepened once again. Today, advanced technology allows scientists to study Libyan desert glass in ways early researchers could never imagine. Using sophisticated instruments, they examine the chemical structure of the glass atom by atom. The results continue to reveal fascinating details. Researchers have found evidence suggesting a connection to cosmic impacts. Some studies point toward an asteroid or comet-related event. Others support the theory of an enormous atmospheric explosion. Either way, the force involved would have been extraordinary. For a brief moment millions of years ago, part of the desert experienced temperatures comparable to some of the most extreme conditions found in nature. The result was a landscape forever changed. A landscape that still preserves evidence of that ancient catastrophe. Today, Libyan desert glass remains highly sought after. Collectors around the world compete to obtain quality specimens. Large pieces with exceptional clarity can command significant prices. Museums proudly display important examples. Gem enthusiasts value it for both its beauty and its mystery. Unlike many gemstones, its appeal is not based solely on appearance. Its true value comes from the story it tells. Every piece represents a moment frozen in time, a fragment of an ancient event that scientists are still trying to fully understand. That combination of beauty and mystery makes it truly unique. But the biggest secret was still hidden. For years, researchers continued searching for definitive proof of how the glass formed. Then studies of tiny minerals trapped inside the glass revealed something extraordinary. Some of those minerals showed signs of having experienced pressures and temperatures associated with powerful cosmic impacts. The evidence suggested that Libyan desert glass may preserve the fingerprints of a massive event involving an object from space. In other words, when you hold a piece of Libyan desert glass, you may be holding physical evidence of a violent encounter between Earth and a visitor from the cosmos. That possibility changes everything. This is not simply a beautiful stone. It may be a message from one of the most dramatic natural events in Earth's history. A reminder that our planet exists within a dynamic and sometimes dangerous universe. And perhaps the most incredible part is this. Even after decades of research, scientists still do not agree on every detail. The mystery is not completely solved. The debate continues. New discoveries continue to emerge. And the desert continues to guard some of its secrets. That uncertainty is what makes Libyan desert glass so captivating. Many stones can tell us where they came from. Many minerals have clear explanations. But Libyan desert glass remains different. It stands at the crossroads of geology, astronomy, archaeology, and legend. It connects ancient pharaohs to cosmic events. It links the sands of the Sahara to forces beyond our planet. And it reminds us that some of the greatest mysteries are hiding in plain sight. The next time you see a piece of golden glass glowing beneath the desert sun, remember that you may be looking at the remains of an event that changed an entire landscape millions of years ago. A moment of unimaginable energy. A mystery still being unraveled. A treasure once carried by kings. And one of the most fascinating natural wonders our world has ever produced. Libyan desert glass is more than a stone. It is a question, a clue, a relic from deep time, and perhaps one of Earth's most beautiful unsolved mysteries.